Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of Stat Check, the incredibly named Porter Starboard, which might be the worst one we've ever. It's definitely the worst one I've ever suggested that's been accepted. It's not the worst one I've ever
There
suggested.
were even worse ideas in the chat.
There were worse ideas. We did not have great ideas for this, but we did want to make it all about the number one best player in my heart right now, Mr. Porter.
I mean, I think if we're going on vibes, it's undeniable.
Oh yeah, the man is a machine. I don't think anybody can contest with his sheer machineliness. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I don't think anybody has a higher win rate than him at 98.1%.
I think technically Riley Tremblay's undefeated this season across like 4 GTs. But
I think the only thing that keeps Porter off number one in the ITC is that he had to leave LGT early.
Yeah, he had to go to work. So
powerful.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he technically lost that game. It's not in his CRS as a loss though, because I think he conceded. He just didn't play the round, and Vic got the win for that, and then Vic made the semifinals. Obviously,
like, thanks.
Peace.
Bye.
Anyway, back to the intro. Hi, I'm Ennis. I'm joined by a Polish dude, an American dude, and another American dude. Apparently, that's the name we were going with. I'm a Scottish dude.
We couldn't tell, so it's glad.
No, absolutely not. I can put the accent on a little harder if you want, and make sure that nobody can understand what I'm saying.
That is the number one complaint, by the way, that we receive is just that nobody can understand you. And that's the number one complaint.
Well, I do have to slow down a bit if I put on the accent. It's not even a particularly good Scottish accent. But if I do this, it'll become incomprehensible for a different reason.
Take what we can get.
Fair.
Okay, well, what you can get is whatever I give you. So, how is everybody doing? How's your last week in life and 40K been?
Who's first?
Anthony.
Oh, no. I'm in the bottom left. Why am I first? All right, I guess I picked you first.
You were late, so you have to pay.
Oh, so I have to go first. Okay. We're using schoolyard rules. My weekend was awesome. I had a big test weekend for LVO. We had Nick and Lucas of TNG, the Next Generation Biff Pod fame, over. TJ was here as well, which was dope. TJ is the real hero of the weekend. He did all the cooking. He also gave us the matchup into the army that's going to be the best. So shout out to TJ playing T-Sun's Flamers even before they were good. Yeah, that weekend was great. I got to knock some rust off because I definitely have not played a lot of 40K, especially since Coventry. For my own purposes, I've been doing mostly coaching. So yeah, getting a chance to play some games for realsies is pretty good. Yeah. It was a good weekend. I got to play Imperial Children and do a couple things. I figured out how to beat Votan, I think, most of the time with them, which I was not able to do before. So, yeah. I mean, there's a couple steps. There's a lot of, like, if I win the defender role and go first, I'm, like, pretty good. But if I, like, lose the defender role, go first and get a little squirrely, I don't know. Depends.
So,
work in progress.
He's figured it out 25% of the time if his opponent is bad.
Even if my opponent's good, I think I can win in the 25%. And then like 50% of the time I can win if they're bad, and then the other 50% is just like, all right, I don't know. So
I don't know, man. I guess I just die.
Yeah, I guess I'm dead. So yeah. It's really weird to track your beams killing you. You have to be like real careful about that constantly. It's a very annoying, stupid rule. That's pretty much it. That was my weekend. My weekend was.
But you should be thankful that we no longer have rules about mounting of the weapons like we had in previous editions.
Oh no!
Like
where they had individual firing arcs.
Yeah. Then keeping track of that was fun. Imagine beams with that.
No, that sounds
terrible.
I'm good.
All those Sponson weapons only could fire 180 degrees, like on their arc on the side, and that was it. So they couldn't fire directly forwards and stuff like that.
If you imagine like a protractor and cut it in half down the middle and moved it to the sides, that's how Knight's guns fired. So
if you were straight in front of them, you were good.
Yep, completely fine. But it was okay because super heavies couldn't Overwatch in 7th, so it never came up.
All right, Ennis, you're up next because we've traumatized Anthony with historical fact.
I had a pretty good weekend, all told. As I mentioned last week, I YOLO ticketed for Nottingham GT. Ended up pairing Adam Lane of Team England round 1 with his Tau. Went second, lost 600 points of my army, and clawed my ass to a tiny win in Abandoned Sanctuaries because it's a fucked up mission if you go second. Getting 1,000,000 points for just being there is great. Poor guy had decisive action and kept having to walk onto the middle, giving my Tyrant the ability to jump to it, warp ritual, charge the thing, bounce away, kill it, get 2 points for killing a unit on the middle. 4 points for warp ritual, gave me my grind them down and effed off. It's like 4 turns of that.
Terrible. Just the worst.
It felt really mean, but I didn't feel bad after what he did to my Harpies. So
That's fair.
Reasonable.
That was a really good game to start, and I kind of went into it with the attitude that I'm playing with house money at this point because I should not have won that game. And managed to win my next 4 as well, which was great. So I finished 9th at the tournament out of 380 players.
5 rounds, by the way, for qualifying.
Which is certainly an experience. I wouldn't have made top 8 anyway if it had been 8. So
Sure.
Yeah, but you didn't want to get into the top bracket anyway because
no,
you
I
had
had
to
to.
go
We
back
had to
early.
go home.
So
I had work
you
the
like
next day in Scotland, 6 hours away. So
so we
It
could
was nice
say
to-
that you ultimately failed because you could have placed 5th
I could have. Yeah,
and still haven't played.
there was like
This is
4
hard.
easy points available for me if I had just placed 5th. It would have been a massive difference to my score.
Why didn't they just cut after 6?
I really don't.
Okay.
I really just try not to think about it because it hurts my head too much.
Okay.
But anyway,
Valid.
that was great. Nottingham was good fun. We went through the Warhammer World. It's just a GW store. Don't hype yourselves up on it too much unless you've got time to do the museum. They didn't have Arcs of Omen in stock, which was insane to me on the Sunday of release. Yeah, I don't have a copy. I went to Warhammer World. I was like, maybe I'll get a copy. No. That was odd. Bugman's food was meh.
But was the beer good?
I'm not drinking until Vegas. I never drink in January, so
What?
What?
I don't
Why,
drink
why
in
in
January.
January specifically?
Because it's dry January in the UK. It's just a general thing. I've been doing it for the last few years to just be like, I don't need to drink every time to have fun. So I'm not drinking, but I'm not doing Vegas without it. So I'm not drinking till Vegas. I haven't this month.
You could do Vegas without drinking. You just
I can. I'm just not going to. So
there's other methods in Vegas, is what I was getting at. It was a joke.
those are
You
all
must
illegal in the UK.
live
So
in a
I'm not
really
mentioning
happy.
anything.
You must be living in a really happy country that using alcohol as a substitution for happiness isn't necessary. Like, I envy you.
Yeah, Anthony. How dare you not live in a disaster country? Wait,
I kind of live
Wait
in
a
a
second.
disaster country.
don't we
so
all?
Wait a second.
I don't know that we get to complain while Typhus is here, though, right? Like, it's a little
True.
Well,
different.
Typhus lives in a disaster country the
Yeah,
same way
no,
that
no.
like South Africans during white South Africans in apartheid were living in it.
I mean,
Dude,
it was
it's
still a
loaded.
disaster country.
Yeah, it's loaded. It's
He's next to a war zone. I don't know. It could get crazy.
Anyway, this has been the political section of the show.
Nuke here, nuke there. Who cares?
Also, coaching has been going great. I've been having a good time with that. Getting back into like my second week of my first week of recurring clients now. So I'm starting to catch up with people that I've already spoken to, which has been really cool to see what they've done in the last week. So I'm enjoying that. Fingers crossed. Come on, guys. Keep it rolling. I need more clients. More clients so I can quit my job. Come on, guys. Come on, boys. You get more content if I get more clients.
Innis does get to stop working and then just make things. So that part's cool.
That'd be cool. And play way more games. That'd be great too. I play so
Yeah.
few games outside of tournaments now.
Well, now you can play them with your coaching clients.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't really feel the same when I'm not trying to beat them for my own ego.
I see.
Nathan, Typhus, how have your respective weeks been now that I've bantered on about my bullshit week this long enough?
I think we're going counterclockwise. So
Yeah,
now
that's
we gotta
Typhus,
get
you're
on.
on.
So,
Who was here first? That's the most
Yeah.
important question.
sorry.
Nathan, well, we were doing it in reverse
I was
order. I'm
technically
joining
the first person here because I
that
created
makes
the
perfect
link,
sense. Typhus
so-
is next.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm in the middle of a move. As you can tell, the setup changed. I finally have something that resembles actual place to work instead of lying down in bed and pretending that I work in IT.
That's right.
So it's an improvement. And for TK related stuff, we started our prep into Netherlands 8v8 tournament quite hard. So we already have estimation tables set up. People are filling those in. We are well underway figuring out the team comp and preparing what matchups we want people to play because we want to create kind of training ground for what 10th will be with that event. So we went hard, and I hope it will continue. So there's 40K, and there's one random fact that I never thought would actually be beneficial. I never thought that deadlifting in the gym would actually be useful in my life at any point. And turns out, if your new apartment doesn't have an elevator or lift,
Oh
depending on
no!
which side of the world you are, it is useful. Like,
Yeah,
like those
Oh,
muscles are
110%.
actually used.
Yeah.
So
you beat them up pretty hard when you move like that. You got to get those cabinets. Got to go somewhere or
I
dressers.
thought you were going to say that it was useful to help you carry your team in the scrim or something like that, but we all know Typhus wouldn't play in a scrim.
No, it was useful. I could watch people walk the stairs and carry shit while looking at them and pretending to be tired.
There you
So-
go. Nailed it.
Nice.
Like true people on the construction work.
Good lad.
Nathan?
Yeah. Nathan?
I had a perfectly good weekend. I watched the first episode of The Last of Us, which was really good. Totally hit the hype level that I wanted it for, so I'm looking forward to the next few
Please.
episodes of that show. What? Please no.
No spoilers, please.
I'm not
I
going to
haven't played
spoil
it, and I
anything. All I'm saying is it's good.
Good.
There's no point in spoiling it. It's a great show. Go watch it. It's a lot of fun. I played more 40K games in preparation for LVO. We got some more games set up for this week to practice for LVO. I'm going to practice terrain placement and do some practice games with Jeremy on Friday, which will be good. We're going to do that on TTS.
Like the Swiss bit, what the practice for terrain is.
The terrain? You want to talk about?
Practice the terrain during the Swiss. Like, that's what it's for, right?
No, I want to try to actually do reasonably okay. Like, and I can't just fly on talent in it.
The goal
like
is
you
to hurt
can.
Anthony with these comments.
No,
by the way, Nathan. It's
first
not
three
for-
rounds. First 3 rounds of any event are the rounds where you learn your army and the terrain pack. That's how we do it.
I mean, that's kind
That's
of a
the
little bit
European
of
way.
this is
The problem
kind of how
is
this is
that-
going.
Typhus and I have been born in the fires of Europe, where terrain is like the most variable thing you could ever imagine. You could just show up to a WTC, an ETC like 5 years ago, and the terrain was literally just whatever the local company had.
One tree.
So it's like, yeah, man,
If
you're
you
gonna
are
have to learn the
lucky,
terrain.
boy.
Do you remember the whole? Were you in Salamanca? Do
Oh yeah.
you remember the Homer Simpson, the giant Homer Simpson terrain piece?
The what?
Was there like a
That event
giant
was
Homer
rough.
Simpson's like
It was like, imagine like half a
Figurine?
Homer Simpson. It's like 3 foot tall. It's just like painted green. It's in the middle of your board.
Who won that year?
Russia? I
Russia,
think Russia.
Poland?
We get an
think-
asterisk.
If you're to asterisk that one, you go to asterisk all of them before 2018, buddy.
Unlucky.
you all get an asterisk. Sorry, buds. All right. do you
Yeah,
wanna
there
talk-
was one
but-
table that had like castle ruins that were like 55, like 60 inches tall, just straight up castle tower block in the middle of the board. They were ruled as being
No.
5 inches tall, except for line of sight.
Oh yeah.
Some of those events actually, like, somebody would take whatever hobby terrain they would assemble, and that would be one of the tables you were playing. And imagine when you are like first defender, you go through terrain and realize you're actually playing board in action instead of 40K. And that's what was actually happening in
Like,
previous
alright.
years. Like, that was a legit thing that could happen. Like,
Yeah, or
they
you
would
could show
take
up
away
and you could get
terrains
the
for
table with
free.
a ruin in the middle and 18 bits of carpet that said forest on them.
And then you played against 3 Riptides and a Storm Surge.
Or
And you had a
7
lot of
Riptides,
fun.
if you recall the days.
Yeah. With 15 Piranhas. Yeah, that was fun.
Double tapping Riptides. And
double tapping like 4
well,
times?
so they double tapped if you had, like, they double tapped once per game, and then they could quad fire once per game.
Cathal's coming
It
out
was fun.
strong with the joke.
Yeah,
by
so
the
if
way.
you when you did the
Homer
Nova
feel.
Surge, it was double shots, and then when you ripple fired, which was once per game, you double shotted again. So you 4-shot. And then they were +2 to hit and rerolling ones from your container with its little crates that you could put about that gave
From
you
the what?
from the Mutant Armored container.
Really?
It was a 40-point upgrade. It
never
came with
bought-
6 little terrain pieces that you could put in an area around it, and each of those terrain pieces had a 6-inch aura of reroll ones to hit, and it was 40 points, but it took up a detachment, and you only got 4 of those. So
But at the same time, those were treated as impassable terrain. So if you put a Riptide on top of that box, you couldn't charge him.
yeah. And you could like wall in your opponent's, like you could bring 3 and wall in your opponent's Thunderwolf cavalry with them, for example.
No. This is why we're going to move over to stats instead. So congratulations. You've broken the community by talking about additions before 8th. No more, Innes. No more. Oh, I mean, this is basically
There's way more.
He's been silenced.
enough. So Old Hammer was good is yes, what ETC nerds who enjoyed absolute garbage say it's true.
Old Hammer was garbage,
And
but it
now-
was fun.
I don't think it was. It doesn't sound like it was
It
fun.
was all right.
Innes. None
It
of
was,
that
or my
sounds
life
like
is a
it was
lie.
fun.
So let me have this.
Every
Okay.
game was different. You didn't
That
play the same
I
game
believe.
every time.
I believe that also. I like how the
Game
split is
tournament-
me and Anthony on one side who didn't play in these editions, who are like, "Yeah, that sounds great."
I'm
And then
sure-
you two are over here
I'm
talking
sure they were
about
different.
quad firing riptides
Typhus,
picking up a whole
do we want to
table.
like launch a 7th edition tournament? We all go and play that, and we can make it stat check 7th. Just fuck these guys.
All right.
Right.
In further news, all right. So there were some events this last weekend. We're still kind of in like a mix of Arcs of Omen and non-Arcs of Omen events until probably for the next couple of weeks. Essentially, some people are using Arcs of Omen, some people are not. It's not broken down in here, so we're just gonna. Yes, Anthony, I see it. I'm very proud of you having the book.
That's my contribution this week. Is that I can
Okay,
that I have the book.
Can you read it?
gotcha.
No,
No,
'cause I
didn't
can't
think so.
read.
It's because we closed the academy too soon.
Yeah, I
all
didn't
right.
learn math. I didn't learn how to read. I'm fucked.
But can you teach
You
us player
learned-
place, buddy?
This
You-
is like
we
American
decided
public
you-
education all over again.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We can talk about that for a minute and how it fails everyone, but instead we're going to talk about
Anthony,
chaos win
I-
rates and how they're failing everybody.
I can code you down an app that you show a picture and it text to speeches it to you.
Perfect.
Man, this is sounding really idiocracy. Like fucking plants need hydration, so we're going to feed them Gatorade kind of stuff.
Nailed it.
So chaos
That's how
soup
I'm
is
planning on
the,
eating at LVO. So,
I think we can feed you better food than Gatorade and LG.
do you ever have that experience when you're at a tournament? I'm gonna complete surprise, but occasionally when we're coming back from a tournament, me and Matty or me and Chris will go into like McDonald's on the way home, and we'll sit there and I'll be like, "Chris, have you drank water this weekend?" And then we'll get a water with our McDonald's because it's like the first time we've had it since Friday night. All I'm saying is, if anybody wants to do a wellness check on me at any point in LVO and just be like, "I just drink some water," I would really appreciate
I'm
it.
just gonna hand you them. I'm not gonna give you options.
That's what we should do, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Chaos Soup is our number one faction for the week at a 65.7% win rate because Flamers are still good. If you don't have Arcs of Omen, they might still be good even after Arcs of Omen. I don't know. We can talk about that later. I covered Innes with my Excel spreadsheet, so I don't have to see him right now. I'm sure he's making some kind of stupid face.
I'm
Harlequins are
completely
next.
neutral, so yeah,
Just
that makes
his
sense.
It's just his face. Oh no. Harlequins are next, a totally dead faction, at least before Arcs of Omen hits, but it's probably mostly just fucking Porter. God damn it, guys. With a 63% win rate, one
Is that
event
it?
win, 4 top 4s, and 5 top 10s. Into the 3.89 over rep. Tyranids are in third with a 55.5% win rate.
One last ride, boys. One last ride.
They won 3 events, though. They won 3 events over the weekend. So it's not like they were doing bad. And a 1.8 over rep. So they've dropped below 2. Leagues of Otan are next. 54.6% win rate. 1 event win, 2 top 4s, 5 top 10s. And then it's Custodes, followed by Thousand Suns, followed by Chaos Demons, followed by Tau.
I feel like every week now for a couple weeks it's been like, and Custodes. It's like, what?
As much as Custodes players like to complain, their win rate has kind of hovered right around 50 to 55% for most of the time since the data slate that brought them to heal.
Yeah, Custodians have never actually been bad. There's just been an absolute refusal by any good players to play them.
And in interesting news, at the very bottom is Astra Militarum, who had 23 players over the weekend and a 3.5% meta representation and a 37% win rate, but still managed to win an event, 2 top 4s and 3 top 10s.
Yeah, because half of those will be old guard codex and half of them will be new guard codex.
Yeah, it could
So
be.
if you average out like
actually be
2/3 of people that are on the old guard codex and lost all their games, and 1/3 of people are on the new guard codex and won 100% of their games, it's about 37%, right?
Yeah, something like that. Other than that, Mechanicus continue their ride to the bottom, but this time they had 2 players instead of none. And then the rest of the bottom 5 is Chaos Knights, Gene Stealer Cult, and Imperial Knights to round it out.
Poor Cole. Imperial Knights deserve to be down there. That army should never be good.
No,
Yeah,
they are A tier, man. A tier.
They are A tier. They're actually still very close to the balance window. They're only at a 44.5% win rate for this last week. Oh, there we go. Born Soldiers had a 59.7% win rate this weekend. Thank you, Jeremy.
So anybody else just always
sure
call
is
that Born
the person
Heroes
who
whenever
grabbed
they
us.
mention it in conversation.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's Born whatever is
Born
convenient.
Heroes,
at that moment.
100%.
Otherwise, the meta is pretty stable. It continues to be stable in the meta dashboard. If anybody wants to look at it, you can just go and look at the tracking over time and see that nothing has really changed. It's pretty flat. I'm assuming a bunch of that will change, and the faction order will change once we actually see Arcs of Omen take full effect in all events, and essentially post LVO. And that's what we'll see. We'll see a change in the meta.
Yeah, every week's going to be
The
real weird. 'Cause
CRS
almost every event should have moved by that point, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't Uprising also using old rules?
That's this weekend.
Uprising
Yeah,
is
okay.
using all new
Uprising
rules,
is
I think.
using new rules.
Uprising's using arcs and everything?
All new rules.
Oh, wow. I thought
Yeah.
they were using all the old stuff. Oh, damn. That's going to be intense.
No. Fuck it. Gas pedal. Woo!
Shit. And then we do have a CRS update this week, which is really mostly just a bunch of people moving because of Nottingham. Tom Ogden's still in first. Mike Porter is now in second. He moved up 2 places from fourth.
Deserves
98% win rate, 51 wins and 1 loss. We'll do that for you. Vic Vijay's in third. Manny Chima's in fourth. And then Innis moved up 5 places and is now in fifth.
Turns out if you beat 2 other people who are in like the top 50, it's pretty good for your score.
That makes
The
sense.
other thing is Innis also has an 87% win rate.
It's like the second lowest in the top 10, but it still counts as really good because I win.
It is.
You know,
it's still good.
win 7 and 8 games. You know, it's pretty good.
And
Yeah,
then
it's not
rounding out
bad.
the top 10 is Nassim in 6th, TJ in 7th, David Gaylord in 8th, Jack Harpster in 9th, and Colin McDade in 10th. And that is the top 10. Anthony is currently in 19th place in the CRS scores.
It's okay,
That's
buddy.
it.
If you ever
Those
need
are
any
our-
coaching,
If you
You're
ever
at
need any
least there,
coaching, Innis is here to give you some top 5 coaching.
reach out to Typhus, man. He can help you with the team stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I would ask.
That's all the stats. There's not like a ton to go into prior to LVO because LVO is using old stuff. I didn't realize that Uprising was using all new stuff. That'll be interesting to see because that'll be like the first super major using all new stuff.
Yep. Where a lot
Yeah,
of
I don't know
people
if
guess
there's
what's
much.
best
I don't think there's much on this weekend. I don't recall hearing of any big events. So
besides Uprising.
yeah,
think it's
besides
just-
Uprising.
It's just Uprising, I think, this weekend that's using all new stuff. So that'll be an interesting bellwether. We'll see if Guard end up taking it or if one of the various
Our
I
hands
think
can
it
drag
will
them
be a
through
little
the
bit
dark.
skewed. It will be a little bit skewed.
What's up,
I can
Typhus?
tell you already because I was recording Enter the Matrix with Liam Hackett, and we were talking about that event. And what's happening? They have like very open tables. When you think about like UKTC boards, just to give an example to our listeners and viewers, imagine all of the terrain with windows and that outside lip.
Yeah.
And then
I'd like to be
imagine
Iron Hand
playing-
speeders on that board. Is that an option?
I think guard Votan Iron Hands will be decent.
Yeah.
But
That
I
seems
have
real.
that tingling sensation.
Just a little bit. It might be okay. Just okay.
Oh, it's got the unreleased guard models as well, so you'll have.
Oh, does it? Full strength guard then.
Yeah, gas
Nice.
pedal, baby.
Crank it to 11 for some folks by getting those full reroll to hit, full reroll to wound Kasserkin, teleporting around the board. You know, just what everybody always wanted.
I think they event FAQ'd the strat though for Kasserkin.
Oh, and maxed it at 6 for one target.
Yeah.
I think it's just like you do 6 with this unit.
Which every tournament should do.
Actually, fully agreed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you really murder one target, which is fine also because the unit costs 100 damn points, which is too little. All right, what do we want to talk about this week? Do we want to talk about LVO stuff? Do you want to talk about buffs and
Let's
Arcs of
start
Omen
with
stuff?
the plugs. First thing I'll do is I'm not on the show next week because I am flying to Vegas, so I will not be here. The rest of everybody should be here in some combination of the normal group of now 5 of us who just pop on the show, and Cliff is here occasionally. There will be some combination of us here next week. I will not be one of them, which is great. It's like having like a timeshare on a podcast. You just don't have. It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will not be on this week. I'm assuming you guys are because you're not flying out until Wednesday, Thursday.
I should be here.
I'll be on.
Should.
Yeah, same.
Cool. So regular scheduled show will be here, and you might be able to understand it at less than 1.5 speed. More than 1.5 speed if you're not an app human like Alex, who can apparently listen to it on 1.75 and be fine.
Just gotta do it to catch up, you know?
Exactly. What I am going to do is I'm now going to do the little plugs for the show. So thank you everybody for being here with us for episode 27. It feels wild that we've been doing this for over half a year now because we've had at least 1 week without an episode, I think, and we've had a numbered episode or two. So that is now over half a year that we've been doing this, and we're very thankful for all of you for being with us. To that end, if you want to show your appreciation back to us for almost half a year for over half a year of content, then you could drop us a like or a comment, or you could check us out on the subscription button, and you get access to us every week. Otherwise, there's even more of us in our Discord, which you can check out at patreon.com/statcheck. And if you want to catch the live show, it is 11 p.m. UK and like 5 p.m. It's 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then the rest I'm not worrying about. I've had to learn that one for coaching because so many people are on fucking Eastern time. Otherwise, thank you everybody for being with us, and we will get back to the regularly scheduled content. And I'll plug it again at the end because, Typhus is here, so he can do the coaching plug this week.
Apparently, according
Should
to
I?
Tim, they FAQ'd it to be raw 6 wounds per target unit.
Oh, never mind.
Garbage.
Well,
Sorry.
Bad FAQ.
Those boys said guard up, hose down.
Congratulations to Guard for winning the war on Guard.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh man, I hope every guard player brings 9 mortars and then just erases the other person's Kasserkin every round of that one. It would
No,
be
you
great.
erase their mortars first, and then you erase
Fair.
the Kasserkin.
Well, don't you just do both?
You can do both.
If you take the Kasserkin down just like a couple models, you're probably good. So yeah, I guess you could just do that.
Just do like, the sniper at their one character and then 3-3-3. Like a unit of mortars, a unit of mortars, a unit of Kasserkin.
Oh man, that sniper is so much fun in test games that I've played with him. Everybody's like, don't take the sniper rifle, just take more hotshot las guns. But occasionally you just nuke some character for 5 total damage because it's 2 mortal wounds and 3 damage on the freaking gun.
Stupid.
Incredibly balanced.
It is hilarious.
You can
It
tell
is
it's
funny.
balanced
Average.
because the model doesn't fall over.
Oh,
Chris Wright is on guard. Yeah,
Congratulations to Chris White for winning the war on Chris Wright.
He
Yeah.
played it at a GT last weekend, unnerved, and took second.
that guy's a monster. Woo. All right.
I believe. That's
I hope
true.
Soli wins. Soli's playing demons, I think. I hope Soli wins.
I hope Soli
Yeah, I
wins
was-
so he's feeling confident coming into LVO because I would love to see him in the top 4. So
Yeah. Oh,
You were on Art of War Down
and
Under.
he's,
Didn't you get
then
the
he
scoop
is a
on who's
perfect
going?
target. You can fuck with him by telling him different rules, and he will not know. So
I
everyone
personally-
who's listening now, Now you know how you can win against Sully.
I just remember
Well, I
that I
thought
have
you
a
just
tattoo
went
appointment in
sloppy
2
on
days.
his toe and hope for the best, but
Yeah,
is that
that's
just
an
your
option.
thing?
It
Yeah.
clearly worked.
Yeah,
Clearly.
I'm
Well-
real excited at LVO for everybody to be confused about which edition of 40K they're playing, because a lot of people have been practicing Arcs of Omen stuff in their free time and not LVO
It
rules.
being
So I'm sure
updated
a
on
bunch of
Wikipedia
people.
is slightly problematic for the average
Yeah,
person. at LVO,
Also,
I think.
Battle Scribe has been updated.
Oh no! If you're like, show me where it says your target card over, I'm like, I don't know where the old turn FAQ is in my phone.
you can just use your book. You just can't use the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna point to it, circle the prime line. It doesn't say it's nerfed here. That's new. It's in the new Battle State. It wasn't in the old one.
It is also in the new one, but
It
Look,
is.
man, the current one, the one we're playing for LVO isn't on the website. I think I'll prove it.
it's true. It actually
Oh,
is.
geez.
And
but
as a
it's-
ref, I can tell you, the other refs will not be able to challenge you because if Wikipedia is not updated, they don't know shit. So
Exactly.
you're fine.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, the Reaper of Obliterax just does like many mortal wounds and ignores
Yeah, and
damage.
ignores
to-
damage.
to-
And ignores damage reduction now, right?
Yeah,
Wait a
So
minute.
definitely.
You don't get both. I forgot I have a tattoo appointment in 2 days until right now.
Nice. Are you
Is
going
that
to
so
live
Sully
stream
can
it
see it?
just for us?
No. I'm sure I'm going to be there for like a while. Tattoos are not a quick experience.
Well, we'll need pictures. We should get an Instagram for
Nah.
Snapchat. That's something we should do.
Yeah.
How many-
I
I don't know, man. I've never had a tattoo before.
Yeah.
Can't
I don't
play.
expect this to be fast. So
Do you want to share what you're getting for the listeners who don't know?
nope. They can see the picture when it goes live on social media like everybody else.
Yeah, we should really get an Instagram so we can actually communicate with people beyond just being live.
Sure.
That
We
makes
can.
sense.
Let's add that to the list of things we need to do, like a TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Just add it to
the list
growing
is
list.
longer than the things we've done, so let's not worry
Get-
too much
get a
about it.
business-
Oh
manager on it.
no. Are you
What's an
really
What's
thinking?
an SC tattoo?
Stat check.
Stat check.
How the fuck
Oh, a
did you not
stat
get
check
that?
tattoo. I don't know. Look, man, I'm smart in very specific ways, and all of them are science related. Maybe will contemplate getting a stat check tattoo. It's just going to be a tattoo of Anthony's face screaming. That's all.
Why? Why must
Yeah.
it always
Get the
be?
snail. Get the snail.
Oh God, not the snail. If I win,
That would-
I'll get the snail.
Why the fuck would you say that?
Anthony is now getting the snail tattoo when he wins LVO.
Why would you?
All right,
Why would you do that to yourself? You know what
I'm-
happens when you make stupid bets.
Somebody needs
Mate.
to clip that from the YouTube so that we can put it in the announcements just to verify.
Before
that the bet was
Alpine,
made.
if that's true, I will make the appointment for you
Okay,
and
sounds
we'll
good.
go there.
Here you go.
Perfect.
It's
Let's go
happening.
win
We're gonna
LVO.
We're gonna have to speak to the LVO guys and get them to put that clip on the show.
Just one at a time. Every time before I go to play someone, you're like, listen.
Listen, he's promised to get this snail tattoo. Like, if you just concede, we can make him do this.
Anthony's gonna
But
get to
where?
the final table for winning.
It's gonna be
LVO.
Jack, and Jack's just gonna concede. He's gonna be like,
He's gonna be like,
I've already won the ITC. See
He's
ya.
gonna put a snail on the table in front
Yeah.
of you and be like, "Cool, cool."
You'll just be like, you'll get to the table. There'll be a tattoo artist there.
We've got 3 hours. We can do this tattoo.
Oh God. It's fine. I'm not gonna win LVO. It's gonna be fine.
And that guy
He
should
said
be, like
with
really
fear in
worried.
his eyes.
Man, I thought Anthony was gonna stop making bets like this, but apparently he
They're
is
so
real
fun.
down.
I can't get away.
Can't stop him.
Yeah.
What Anna thinks about it?
The Aussie tattoo.
Yeah, like the whole idea of more bets. I think she loves it, right?
Yeah. She's,
Where are you
I mean,
getting
like
the snail?
the oh, I don't know. That's I'd probably
Left
just put it on the same leg, right? Surely I just put it
Left
next to the
cheek.
Aussie tattoo.
That leg is just now for bets
Yeah,
only.
bad ideas go on my left thigh.
Perfect. Oh man! And in case you're wondering what this V8 snail talk is, you'll have to join our Patreon to figure it out.
Surely
Just
Liam
letting
can't
y'all
win
know.
War Masters and WTC.
Look, all right. I feel like I have to clarify part of this bet. So the thing is, I made this bet, and it was just supposed to be an Aussie flag, and it was on day one when Soli was 3-0 with 300 points of dead weight, and Liam had a loss. So I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And then we added to it after he won the singles that I have to get the logo if they win sports as well. And I gotta tell you, I've never been more upset and happy for a team at the same time as when they won sports.
Anthony will never stop making bets. We will never stop discouraging him, but also encouraging him.
Yeah.
But most importantly, what's everybody taking to LVO?
I can go first, I guess. I'm bringing Votan. I'm basically just taking Jeremy's Votan list that he sent me, and I made one change where I added a comms array to one bike unit because
They die first.
because I want to play Innis and have him forget that I can use it to turn off.
I will not forget.
You won't?
Eagle eyed.
definitely-
Every
I will
time I listen to the event, I'm going to
definitely-
go through and just like write their name in blood on a sheet if they've got that guy.
He's gonna
But I'm
consult
gonna-
his scroll before the game.
I'm
Like,
just
it says here you don't have that. Does that mean I get to play Warhammer?
I'm just really excited for Innis to forget, and I would definitely will just trap card him with it. I'll just be like,
If you're gonna try to
wham!
move it, I'm going to pass all my 4-ups. It's not even going to matter.
He's gonna trap card you with it, and then put his pyropod down and kill all your cultists and lose the game immediately. So you'll be okay.
Shut up, Anthony. Shut up. That
If
was
he throws
the
a power
worst.
pod in that game, I'm going to call a ref. Is what I'm going to start with.
So these are called Hearthkin Pyroflamers.
Yes, indeed. The one profile Votan doesn't have is something that auto hits. The fort fucking feels like it though.
So that's what I'm bringing. I've played a few practice games with it. I brought the comms array just to shut down like a huge problematic Orderas and occasionally just snipe a Hive Tyrant because it'll be hilarious. Otherwise, the unit doesn't really change its purpose very much. The loss of a scanner will be okay. It
Wait,
just
you cut the scanner
changes.
for it.
Yeah, I kept the Searchlight instead to add judgment tokens. It'll be fine.
Something I feel a
I
lot better
promise.
about that matchup.
It's one unit of two. Pick the one. It's not going to make that much of a difference, I don't feel.
said-
If it does,
He said, very much doubting himself now.
now I definitely do doubt myself, but I think it'll be fine. If it's not fine, that's also okay. I'm not planning on winning LVO. I'm planning on going maybe 4-2 or whatever. I don't know.
Nathan's trying to get hammered in drop day 2.
I'd also do that.
Nathan's trying to play all the singles events. Or all the
No,
one day
he
I
Let's
might.
play the
I'm gonna
current
play.
event.
I'm gonna drop from the big one and then go play the Friday RTT,
And the
and
Saturday.
then I'll play the Sunday RTT. I'll
Yeah.
win all the RTTs. That's what I plan on doing. I'm gonna win all the
I
RTTs.
hear
I
those
don't
are
know.
really
That
good for
Sunday
points
RTT is
for
a
next
sweat
year.
fest, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
that's all the
sure.
people who were like really convinced they were going to do well that didn't and aren't willing to go out on a loss. So yeah, and
Maybe I'll
catch
just
me
do
there
the
if I drop a
doubles
game.
with Cliff then instead.
Yeah, you and
Maybe-
Haidar.
Maybe I'll just do the fucking doubles with Cliff.
There you
If he
go.
wants to do the long war doubles with
Dwarves and big boy time. Just dwarves and a Castellan.
It's just
Two Land Fortresses, a Castellan, and 2 Halverans.
yeah, that's it.
I don't know that that's super friendly.
What
This is
tattoo
the doubles,
does
not the
Anthony
friendly.
get if Nathan wins LVO? The thing that is never going to happen because
I'll
it's
get his
not gonna
initials
happen.
on my ass if he wins LVO.
What's
That's
the
okay.
first? What's the first person you wouldn't
Specify
like, in
location.
ITC rank? How low in ITC rank do we have to go before you're willing to not make a bet about somebody winning LVO?
I don't know. Why?
Well, like,
I'm
if
really
I said
low.
Whoever's in 15th,
You
if they
sure
win
are,
LVO.
and you're also not going.
Well, it's like, well, what if I said, okay, what's the bet if Nas wins LVO?
Nothing. I'll buy him a drink. He might just go first 8 times. That's the only way Nas wins 40k games.
That is true. It sounds really solid coming from somebody he went first against, but you know. Nathan, what's your middle initial?
I have 2 middle names and they're F and C.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
NFCH are my initials.
No. So,
All right.
I am playing
and
Kraken Tyranids.
Anthony, what are you?
I am
oh,
playing
shit.
the same list I took to Mythicos, but with a couple of tweaks. So broadly, the same list I took to Mythicos. I don't love it. I'm not super happy with it, but I've got a lot of practice on it, and I think I'll be all right. See what happens.
Sweet.
I wish I played anything else, but I also didn't have anything else to play except
You played
Decimators, which
GSC.
Anthony vetoed.
Yep, you could have played GSC.
I could have. It would have been really bad, but I could have.
Yeah.
That's like, and it's just play GSC as the Anthony just run a master of executions of armies.
I mean, it worked at Coventry.
Work is a strong word for what happened for you at Coventry without that rhino.
I mean,
You're
your
doing
game,
so much happier.
your game worked. I meant like you playing GSC at Coventry.
Oh
worked.
yeah, no, but nobody was playing Thousand Sons of Flamers at Coventry.
Yes.
And you also told me not to take them to Coventry.
I was just trying to get you back on the path, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You went undefeated at this event with Kraken. Fuck you. How many times you lose your Reaper turn one?
None.
Hey, there's a correlation.
I was too busy losing Harpies turn one. Where are you guys doing an Elvo draft? Yes, we will be. I'm going to try and organize it for this week. It will be happening. There's also going to be one happening in another Discord. You're in there, Vic, so you might catch it there.
I'm taking Emperor's Children. That was a
Shock,
question that was
horror.
asked a while ago. Yeah, everyone knew that already.
How
I
many,
have to
how many
get
noise marines?
I have to get 39 more points or something stupid, or 30 more points. No, 29. That's the number. More points than Ben Sherwin, and I get best in fact in CSM.
Nice.
Is Charwin taking them?
Yes.
I thought Charwin was
Is
another
Sherwin
player.
going to LVO?
He Eldar and Emperor's Children apparently.
Okay.
Fair enough. It's an odd skill set.
I don't know how those relate, but it works for Vic too. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe you play Quins, right? So it's basically the same thing
I guess.
in the same army.
Yeah, Quinns and Craftworld are the same army, right, Typhus?
Mm-hmm.
They are for
They
WTC.
On average, when they play each other, they both get 10 points. So
That is true. Yep.
Christ.
Oh my gosh.
masters in math. Like, I know my shit.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right. The next one I got is, what are you guys excited for after LVO? Because we're kind of stuck in this limbo meta right now. I've had Nottingham. I've now got LVO. I'm not really getting to play much arcs. I'll play a couple of practice games for for some teammates. I'm playing our scrim with Canada, so I'll play a few games of arcs, but I'm broadly trying to ignore it as much as possible. Anthony's gonna flick to the World Eaters page and just show it to you and be like, "Yo, you see this stuff? I think this is great."
This shit. That's what I'm excited for.
Vic is regretting not taking Emperor's Children. The meta is looking hostile for T-Sons. See, that was kind of what I was considering, was that, like, maybe all the Thousand Sons players will just lose to people who've been like, I can beat that, and then actually do, but I don't know.
I'm really excited for full strength guard starting after LVO. I've got already Lord Soul off. I hate you too, Anthony.
I thought you were selling out to go and join like the private pharma company, not the military.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know. What is the difference?
Nathan's joining the military
actually?
industrial comp. The big
military
pharma industry
doesn't
is
pay
probably
well.
nicer.
Yeah.
Actually, the military does pay really well for scientists.
What are you doing?
Just as an aside, I'm just letting you know that
I'd love to
when
see
you
Nathan
design,
basic. That'd be great.
when you design biohazard, like bioweapons treatments, you definitely make a lot of money.
Yeah, get on it. What are you? Come on, bro.
You just work in a secret lab and never get to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But
What are you
that's
gonna do?
neither
Live
here
forever?
Maybe that's why it says Dr. Stats Homunculus now.
Oh.
I would have to get a haircut. It's true, press. I would have to get a haircut if I joined a military lab. I would be a civilian though. I wouldn't be in the military if I joined a military lab. That's just how that works. But I'm really excited for guard. I've got a bunch of guard stuff to paint. I might as well use it for what it is. I'm also apparently just addicted to Quins because I started painting Harlequins instead of painting guard like over the weekend. I don't know why. So that's a thing that I've been doing because apparently something about nerfed Harlequins is calling deep inside my soul. That's all
Are
I
they
got.
even really nerfed?
Not really. They're probably still
They
fine.
might be better
Nerfed.
now. Nerfed mirror
They're
architects.
they're nerfed until I bring them to a local RTT and just like smash a bunch of people with it. And then they're
Well,
not
what's
nerfed
what's
anymore.
my
We had
about them, Typhus?
we had one talk in our team. Like Duda was thinking about playing some craft words, and he added Hollies, and we told him, you should bring that dev jester. He's quite good. And he was like, yeah, but how does he work? So we explained it to him, and he played one weekend of games, and he was like, can I take 2 or 3, please?
You can, just not that
can.
one again.
Yeah.
You get that
It would
one
be
once.
It'd be really good if it could take multiple Teslaing, one auto Tesla death jesters. It would be very
Those
good.
are decent.
Pretty good.
I've done my best to never actually learn what his damage profile is. Like I just kind of like accept that I'm dying when I get shot by him.
Just don't play something where he wounds you on 2s. I don't know. Or just don't play anything where you might die, I guess.
The last time I had to play against that guy, I was playing Crusher's Harpies. It was great, but
I'm really excited to use the Death Jester to kill some poorly screened out Castellan, like Knight.
Yes.
Not Knight, Guard Castellan, like Commander unit.
Oh yeah, all the guard stuff just gets by a death jester.
Here's 6
Except
strength
Lord
6,
Solar.
AP 2, damage 2. Yeah, because he takes half damage.
And he has a 4
What?
up, and he has a million wounds, and he's like top 5.
Yes. That
I
sounds
can't wait
accurate.
until it's just guard
What
on
you're
Harlequins.
saying is 1 out of 3 times he dies to Dev Jester.
That's true.
It's true. I think he has 7 or 9 wounds. I can't remember now off the top
Too
of my head.
many. It's a man on a horse.
Too many.
It should be like
He's
He's a
four,
special
guys.
man on
should
a
definitely
horse.
like man on a horse in fantasy battle was like 3 wounds.
We should go
Oh,
back.
If
guys.
you're not using Archaon, or however you pronounce him, from Fantasy Battle, the old one on a horse, as Leontus or Leonidas, or however that fucker is called, I hate him.
Yeah,
You're
Lord Solar.
doing something wrong. Like
you should
that.
be. That model's way better.
I still think the plan to just I bought all of the Death Corps of Krieg casualties and printed out some more to cover his base and bodies, and then put the Lord Solar just on top of them, because that is how the guard actually works, and he'll be shiny and pristine, and there'll
But
just
he's
be a mound
movement
of
12
corpses
because
on his
he's
base.
so fast.
Yeah, he's,
Lord Solar
Nathan,
has
you were
eight
exactly
wounds.
wrong. 8 wounds.
I said it's somewhere in there. I don't know. Plus or minus a bundle.
Nathan always has error bars on his actual words. You can see them if you zoom
I
in really
do.
close on camera.
If you turn on subtitles, each letter does have a little error bar on it. It's great.
It's just
Other than that,
photoshopped
I'm
an eye
excited
on top of it in
to-
Adobe.
I'm actually excited for World Leaders to come out because that army just looks so neat. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the Combat Patrol box come up and I was like, that sounds fun. Just run at somebody screaming the
I'm
whole time.
definitely getting 2 of those that combat patrol. It's so good.
I'll
It's
paint it in
fun.
old World Leaders or something like that. All white and blue and
All my
brass.
chaos is white, so it works pretty well.
I'm doing the Dark Iron Dwarf scheme. They're gonna match my Votan.
Ooh, those will be birdie.
They can't ally. What do you know about 10th edition?
Typhus, what are you excited about post LVO?
Like the thing that I'm like, I don't care about LVO that much except cheering for you guys. Like ITC just doesn't fly on my radar as much. But what I'm really happy about Arcs of Omen is actually our community got revitalized because of it. People were just waiting for new releases. So the combination of that with like few team events coming up, there's one in Croatia. I think it's 4 or 5 months. I cannot recall. So there's one team event, then there's ITT, there's then Netherlands, Home Nations, Alpine Cup. So there's plenty team events coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. And because you can only bring 1 guard per team there and only
That's
1
right.
Iron Hands, or 55 Terminators if you hate your life. So
Or your opponents.
as
One of the two.
it's more fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And you guys telling me to play 55 Terminators on Alpine because
Well,
you
we want
find
you to be able
that
to
I
we
will
want
be
you to be able
good
to
at
do
it.
it while you're absolutely blitzed out your skull. So
We all have armies that are like, I can do this hammered. So
I might just bring 30 Behemoth Gene Stealers and deploy them on the line and roll to go first.
120 Hydra.
I've been
Or
told that
Magans.
I've been told
120 gargoyles.
I've been told that the Germans are taking real teams to that. Like Fred's going with Arn and stuff.
Yeah, but they're German. They're not even like the second best team in the world.
Are they competitive? Like, we didn't feel that.
Yeah, did you guys not like 7-1 them?
Yeah, and I was the only one to lose. 12-8.
Exactly.
Got blasted.
They were pretty competitive when we played them. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, where did America place? Like,
Were you guys competitive?
No,
like it really did feel like it was a 2-horse race at WTC this year.
it ended
Yeah,
up
right.
being one.
There were two good teams and a bunch of other people,
And Belgium.
and Belgium,
Mercenary
who
team.
were the best team in the world at vital intelligence.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I would be confident saying that the best player in the world today at Sky Salvage is Liam VSL, but and that man
Might
must have
be
played more
true.
games of that mission than any human on the planet.
Innes, what are you excited for post LVO?
I have a minor problem with like NIDS are just I don't want to play NIDS anymore. It already hurts me playing Kraken, and moving to like the next best after that is just like, oh man, we're really scraping here. I'm sure there's
Yes,
still
sir.
builds in there because that book is still fucked up, but I don't want to be the one to find them. Someone else can find them and I'll copy them again. GSC aren't really changing, which makes it hard to be excited about them. Like, yes, they're going to get better relative to the field, but like I didn't get much new stuff to play with. I get some extra special weapons now, so it's hard to be like excited for that. And Iron Hands are going to be a stain on the game for a bit. So as much as I'm going to enjoy playing that, it's probably not healthy in that sense. So I'm struggling a little bit with like being super excited about the new meta. I'll find some stuff to play. There's always something. Maybe I'll crack out the white scars again to hurt people. If I have a lot more time to play games, I'll play a lot more bad factions just to try and find some stuff. Try and find some gimmicky lists for home nations and things like that are always super interesting to be able to play about with.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm doing some cool conversions for my GSC special weapons. I bought like the Necromunda guys to put the convert guns onto them for. I bought like a bunch of random Ultramarines garbage. Like I got Marnia's Calgar and some Honor Guard, and I got some new Devastators and I get some Gladiators. So I got some cool Marine stuff to hobby up that I didn't have access to before. So broadening my horizons there a little bit. But yeah, it's just another meta, right? It'll change in 3 months.
And by
And
the
then
way,
Pimp
my
on the
sister's
corner.
commission just got delayed, so you guys are fine.
Oh no,
Oh, thank God.
we're safe from sisters typhus.
It was bad. The problem was if Typhus was playing them, we couldn't make Brian real one to them.
That's true. What's Pumbaa play? Just whatever. Do we just make him suffer?
Mate,
Is that how that works?
We have the same role. Every team we
Oh.
play,
He's our
we get
guard
the same
player.
role. Like, literally, that's the role. Like, we get whatever anyone else doesn't want to play.
Oh, we can make Brian play
Which is
Harlequins as well. He wants to play with them.
There you
Like,
go.
it's a useful role when you think about it as a captain, but as a player, it sometimes is really miserable.
And the problem is when you as the captain are also that player, and you're like, I have to tell myself to be good, and I have to play a boring army.
It was
Sucks
fun
so
to play
much.
200 brimstones. I can tell you. Like,
Is it?
No,
no,
Fun?
So you're gonna play one homunculus and 180 racks for us at Alpine?
Yeah.
I have those, so I can.
it's really problematic how much we just all have the bullshit armies as well. It's like, yeah, man, I hate playing yep, but I do own it.
Mate, I have flocks. I can bring triple Court of the Archon, 3 squads of Cloud Fiends, 3 squads of Razor Wing Flocks. It only gives away 324 wounds, no prisoners. So
So
Oh
you bring
my-
that, and I'll bring 4 Storm Ravens, and
You can pretend it's a different year as we get beaten to the
we
ground
need
by
to bring
Austrians.
Homer with us.
Yeah.
We need to bring Homer Simpson with us.
I'll bring the Team Scotland bus with me for the event.
Oh, the little.
Yeah. I need to get stickers made up for that for all the players, so I can put a sticker for each of the players on it every time they get it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shall we do some show questions for the last half hour or so?
Bring it.
Yeah.
Because we're still unfortunately on kind of holding pattern of there's not much to talk about. The events we have had are not
I mean, we
losing the
could-
new rules. Like we could talk about Nottingham, but Porter smashed some people. Congratulations to Pete Dunley for getting second place with Sisters. Pete's one of the Team Ireland guys and a really, really good lad. So congratulations to him. Other than that, fuck all happened. right? Oh, James
We could-
Marsden got 500 out of 500 with Necrons. I'm so glad.
Oh,
Innis.
Just to
No.
Chester it.
No. Innis.
Sure, you can edit that out.
No, we're.
fucking idiot.
Damn it, Innis.
Yeah, no, that was a mistake. I apologize.
Keep it
Oh,
moving.
I'm sleeping.
All right, so we've apologized. Innis will apologize again later.
Such simple rules. You
All right, so we're going to
moron.
go into show questions. I'm going to start pulling questions from our Discord, and then
Yeah,
we'll
you
pull them
just-
back from chat later. All right, so we've got questions starting at some point today. Oh, look, yeah, it's after all these memes, people need to use this stupid thing that we created where we have a discussion thread where you can discuss questions. All right, here we go. Questions starting from yesterday. First question is from Dan F, or from today. It's actually from this morning. Who wins in guard versus Iron Hands?
Who goes first? And what is the table?
For the purposes of Hugh Typhus, say it's a WTC table and the Iron Hands goes first.
Which one of the 8?
It's
Number-
broadly go first win, right?
Number 8.
That's what I was trying to get at. I
Yeah.
think it's very swingy. Like,
I think that's reasonable. I mean,
Yeah.
guard die to all of the guns that are presented by Iron Hands in large quantities.
Yeah, you can.
and the other way around.
Yeah, the big shoots are on both sides. I mean, you can definitely kill out the guard screens, and then if you reserved anything as Iron Hands, blow the tanks away. So I don't know, it's tough.
I think we still do not have enough data. I think it completely depends on the builds, etc. And the meta is still not solved, partly
Right.
because of LVO, right? So
Sure.
Yeah, we're in the LVO waiting room, right?
I've also heard a lot about Grey Knights potentially being really good.
That doesn't sound
Is
right.
that something to
but
look out for? No, it doesn't sound right. Okay.
I hope not. I don't need more of them in the map. They are no.
Grant H has a question that is basically just for Anthony, which is hype / thoughts on World Eaters based on what's been shown so far.
I mean, the models are dope, like basically across the line, and it looks like their secondaries are really powerful, though we might as well get this out of the way now. So I'm pretty sure they wrote one of these secondaries wrong. The second one says, at the end of each player's turn, score a VP if an objective was drowned in blood. An objective becomes drowned in blood if one or more units that started the turn within range of that objective marker had been destroyed that turn. Now, normally, that's fine. But let's say I'm playing Blood Angels into the World Eaters, and my Sanguinary Guard leave my comfortable middle objective to go punch him in the face on his home objective. But I don't quite get the job done. He has some dudes left over, and they kill me. Based on the way this secondary is worded right now, my objective, way the fuck over there, is now drenched in blood, because that's where I started the turn. And that seems unintended. So I don't know if they're going to FAQ that or what the game plan is, but it just feels like they did that wrong.
That does seem odd. Surely it should be a unit that started the turn and
It should just
died
be
while
like
in
an
range of the-
objective that had people die on it.
Yeah, if a unit died while, I guess the concern there is that it's like the Yannari thing, where like if there's 4 models on it and 6 models off it, and you kill the 4 on it first, and then in a
That's
second
just
activation the
permanently
next 6
terrible.
die, that
Yeah.
unit is no longer on that objective, so it wouldn't drown in blood. So you'd have to have a full squad where every model was on the objective to ever be drowned in blood.
You'd have to do like at the start of an attack sequence if that model. Oh, it gets really gross.
Yeah,
then.
if I would probably word it as at the start of a phase if it was on that objective. That way, if it dies in the
Yeah,
psychic
that
phase or
probably
the
fixes
combat
it.
or the fight phase, it
Yeah.
cleans it rather than having the memory issue of like which objective. Like you kill a squad of cultists that was trained across 3 objectives, you get all
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, it's super
and
funny.
it also fixes killing that in multiple phases. So
Oh, because you
Yeah.
could like pull off it.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it gives it
models-
a little bit of counterplay if you shoot and punch. It's probably not going to be an issue. It's World Eaters, but
The secondaries are looking quite good for that army.
Yeah,
That's
down the
all.
line they look nuts. It'll depend a little bit on how easy Blood Tithe point generation is or isn't, but We'll see.
It
Alright, so I
looks
haven't-
like we will basically put Anthony as first defender and
And then he can
make
die on the
him
objectives
choose,
for 15 points.
and he will be dying on the table and outside of the table because of the games of spoof and other shit
Yes.
that we will play the night before and during.
Can we make the
pairings.
other teams play liars that play spoof for first defender?
100%.
Dude, I'll
I
just be
think we
first.
should.
If I take World Eaters, I'll be first defender every round. I don't give a shit.
I mean, first table choice, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
then-
yeah. I think
Like instead of doing a roll off, we'll play around a liar. We'll play around a spoof.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so we have an image from Chris in the Discord for everybody to live react to. So I'll just describe it for everybody at home. It is 2 3-man mortar squads, 3 6-man armored sentinel units. It's hard to tell from the pictures. They might be scout sentinels.
It's 3 of each.
those look like.
Oh yeah, it is 3 of each. So 3 armored and 3 scout sentinels, and then 3 Lehman Russes, one of which is a tank commander, and then 2 plasma executioners. Lord Solar, 10 Casterkin, it looks like, and then 4 squads of 10 infantry and a command squad with the finial, I assume.
I think guard are terrible. I hope
Guard
that
were a
gets lost
mistake.
in the ocean.
Guard were a
So
mistake,
we'll-
and it's good that they're not coming out until next week, and they should stay away longer.
Man,
Yeah.
I actually don't know that Sentinels list is great in singles, but it's probably fine if you go first and can jam your opponent. But if you don't go first and your
What if
opponent
your
just
opponent
eats,
What if your opponent has damage though? What then? Those things aren't tanky.
It looks
Yeah,
like
they
a
are not.
list that Nassim would play and have
It
good results.
does.
Yes.
You'd pay a CP and like fire and fade the unit after every time you shoot it, like a fake.
They can
crisis
still
suit
charge
unit.
after doing that as well. It's great.
Yeah, so it's basically the crisis suit stratagem for strike and fade, rather. All right, then there's just a bunch of gifts because people don't know how to not use the right channels to talk about things. What are the bottom 3 factions in Arcs of Omen, and how isn't Death Guard one of them? Is another question from Dan in chat.
Death Guard definitely is one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Death Guard, like T-Suns.
I think T-Suns aren't that bad, but I think Dev Guard is there.
I just don't know what T-Suns are trying to do, man.
But we
They don't really
know
do as
a
much
lot
well.
about the game.
You just kind of like
Yeah.
vibe with 30 Terminators, right? Hope for the best. You just kind of be there.
The lack of
They
armor of
just be doing
contempt
stuff.
seems bad.
You start not being there real quick is the problem.
Overrated.
All that AP 1 and 2 shooting that a lot of the armies are going to start putting out because armor of
I mean, it
contempt
doesn't
is
really
done
do
is
anything to
also
them.
probably just good.
The problem is
And that's true
Okay.
because it's damage 1.
yeah.
Another army I would wager maybe is there, because when I thought about it, it just didn't click yet, was Admech.
I don't know
I
what they're
s-
supposed to do yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's just purely because I haven't put a lot of thought into them, but still like the changes didn't seem as much, and it didn't solve their secondary problem.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing like some people are following like the 60 rust, the 660 rust and infiltrators lists. I've seen like 200 Vanguard floated about. You get a lot more troop slots now, which can be nice, but
I don't know if
I
that's
don't know.
better enough. I feel like a lot of those profiles.
But like, I'm not impressed, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking more like WTC format.
I'm not
That's
impressed. But I
another
also
army
wouldn't be
that-
surprised if there was a mega good shooty build from it.
Cataphrons might be good with core. Maybe.
It unlocks a lot of buffs on a pretty okay data sheet.
Yeah,
also.
the problem is all
Yeah.
the good buffs are on the Skitarii side, right? Like it doesn't give you the real ones to wound from Exemplar's Eternity, Skitarii Marshal, stuff like that. Like the full package shoot is a lot more limited, like because that's from Programmed Retreat. So
Yeah. The other thing is that army is so CP thirsty, and in a world of CP reductions and without some of the discounts from the Vanguard veteran thing, like I think it's a little harder to play with.
Oh man,
I need
wish
to pull
Melee Aspect was
Vahapedia.
real.
I need to pull Vahapedia for the third one. It's not easy. Eh,
I was going to actually say that for most people, like I think Tyranids are going to flail out of the meta kind of badly. There might be. a
I
really
don't
good
think
build
they are
there.
that bad. I think they will just require you moving completely to new way of playing Nidzilla again.
Terrans
Yeah,
are going to be
It
like
will n-
B-ish. It'll be fine.
I think they're just going to be monster boys.
yeah, exactly.
Jormungandr
Something that we played in
unironically.
Poland. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's that bad. Like still,
Replace
you're
all of your
having
Raveners with Venom Thropes. Run 18 Venom Thropes.
And play Kraken, so you have AP. Bam. Fuck you, Armor
Exactly.
Content.
18 Kraken Venom Thropes. It's how you get. You can't deploy them; they don't fit anywhere. If you can find the
But
old
there's
metal
free
one,
strat reserve.
The real truth is that it's Imperial Fists. Imperial Fists will still be in the bottom 3 factions. Sorry, guys.
I'm looking at Marines as one faction. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
because
Marines
in
are one
teams you
faction that
only have
exists
one.
like across all of the tiers, right? So
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't-
not sure
it's all
about the third one.
simultaneously. Schrodinger's Space
Are-
Marines.
Our next question is from Press, and it's how do you get yourself back into 40K after a slump, hobby, and or games for the slump?
I simply refuse to allow myself to have one through sheer force of will and entropy. Like, I can't stop at this point. I'm just like, with the momentum is there, I must follow.
I find that new releases help a lot. There's been a couple times with 40K where I've been like, is it break time? And then like something will come out and I'll be like, oh, okay, I can do that for a bit. But
if I get burned out or like not interested in the game for a while, I will just coast around it. And I usually then rev events. So I'm still up to date what's happening within the game. And not play it myself, but I still know what's happening. So that's my way of still keeping up with the community whilst not really caring about my performance at all.
yeah.
I make this show. That's what I do. When I have a slump and I want to get back into it, I make this show with Anthony and Ninnis and folks, and then now Typhus. And usually their excitement about the game makes me want to be excited about it a bit. But also it's okay to take a step back. And then if you're feeling like your slump is over, to find a way back into it. Like you can leave the game and come back. Like I stay engaged in the community by doing the podcast when I hit a slump and don't want to do stuff. You can just exit and come back. Like the hobby is not going to disappear while you're gone. We promise.
Yeah. I took a break for 6th edition, like for some personal reasons. Some like not just not enjoying the game. The game will be here when you come back. Don't worry about it.
Next question is, what's the threat range of White Scar Terminators? If anybody knows it off the top of their head.
7
One
inches.
thing I learned is you never do maths on stream.
Math is hard.
It is
That's fair.
24 though.
It's 24. There we go. 24 is
It's
good.
20. Okay, it's 23 or 24 if you've got Plume, or 26 if you've got the spell as well. So the maximum they can go is 26 plus a Land Raider, I guess. So 28.
Right, the next question is, how did you all get into or discover 40K?
I'll start. I went into a GW store looking for Heroscape models, which was like the 6x6 grid game.
Nice.
And there was an intro. Their staff there was running an intro game. I think Assault on Black Reach had just come out, which was the 5th edition starter set. I went. My dad. I didn't shut up to my dad talking about it for the next 2 days. He took me back and was like, and there was like they were running an intro class, and I got a set of Assault Black Reach, had a few paints, and went into this GW store for the first 4 days to build and paint this star box, and it just kept going from there. I got into Nids after that, and then Chaos Demons, and then took a break for 6th edition and came back with Grey Knights in 7th.
Nice.
Typhus?
In my case, it was basically I was living in a smaller city on the outskirts of Warsaw. So there was basically like a small group of people playing there, and one of them was like actually my decent friend. So he was playing Tau, and he just told me, you can start playing as well. So I bought some shit. I remember first shooting with blast weapons and thinking that you roll once for a wound underneath the whole blast. So 1 in 6 times my Defiler just failed to kill any crit because I rolled the 1 on the wound roll. So there was that. So yeah, and I'm a competitive whore. I like whatever I start playing gaming, I need to be at the top.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I do not play any other games or competitive online games,
Except for Mass
because
My
that's not
single player
competitive. But I had a stint with Counter-Strike where it took I had problems at uni because of that. So
I believe it.
I need to take smart decisions nowadays.
Makes sense.
Fair. Anthony?
I had stopped fighting and I was taking a break from WoW, and I wanted something I could do with my girlfriend. and she's an artsy person. So I was like, oh, I can get the stuff and build them. Then she'll paint them, and then I'll play, and we'll, like it'll be a thing we do together.
That
and
clearly
then-
worked well for you.
It did for a while. And then I wanted to play a different army, and she was like, already? And then and then, it became not that. But we get to do a bunch of cool travel stuff because of it, so, there's that. But yeah, that's the story.
Man, I got into tabletop wargaming when I was in like 5th grade or something in elementary school because there was like a Lizardmen and Bretonia starter box in a hobby store, and I was like, this looks really cool. And then I played with like 3 friends and who didn't know any of the rules. And that was Warhammer Fantasy in the box that I picked up.
Nice.
And then one day somebody was like, oh, there's a sci-fi version of this. So we picked up the Dark Eldar versus Space Marines box.
So 3rd edition. Jesus, going all the way back.
And then I picked up some Tyranid stuff and never played a single game of 40K. We never actually played any of it at all. And then I dropped the game and then came back to it as an adult when I was looking for a hobby that involved meeting people. And so I picked up 40K at the tail end of 7th, right before, or tail end of 8th, right before 9th, rather. And now I'm here. That's what happened.
Nice.
Which Chaos God or other 40K deity is each member of the stat check team? Anthony is obviously Khorne. Like, that's just a given.
Typhus is Slanesh.
Typhus is Slanesh. There we go.
I mean, Nathan, you were just saying you were for bioweapons, so you must be Nargle.
It's true. That's fair.
Innis is Zinch.
That feels wrong, but I'll take it.
Close enough.
I would like to take deeps on Zinj. I feel like I like to fuck with people too much.
That
you
feels more
could be
Slanesh.
one of Kairos's heads.
Not Leashley. Not literally.
Jeremy is actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm
probably,
saying. What are we doing?
and
You're
then-
definitely
no, it's
Slanesh.
Jeremy is Vashtor, right?
Yes, the Machine Man.
There we go. We've got it covered. It's only really loose. It's probably still more accurate than like the Myers-Briggs or anything like that. So there you go.
And Cliff is Trajan.
Cliff is the Emperor. We all know this. The 5th Chaos God.
Yep.
It's true. Excluding Anthony and Cliff, who would win in a stat check fist fight?
Typhus's terrible knees. Nathan's old. And
I'm old and have terrible knees also.
I think Innis is afraid of conflict, so my money's on Typhus.
I would wage I run the fastest.
Probably.
Maybe for like 10 yards.
Once I get going, it's like
Yeah.
once I get going, it's like I'm gonna die for you because I'll collapse from my asthma. So
Yeah. Can you run? Is that a thing you can do, Typhus? Or do your knees just explode and give out?
I mean, I shouldn't according to my physiotherapist.
Oh, okay.
Like,
And then
I can.
There are 2 more questions and then we can stop. Biggest meme unit that people are going to try to make work out of the Arcs of Omen meta, and I'm going to say it's the Monolith. People are going to try to make the Monolith work so hard.
How can you insult Cliff like that?
Starguard
I'm waiting
is the
for
biggest
him
name.
to DM me so much right now, just yelling at me about Novak monoliths.
No. Starguard are the
Boy.
biggest name because people will run them instead of good elites, even though they're good elites. But there's so many better choices.
Today, I was cleaning my new kitchen and I turn on our TTS Discord and see what is one of our team members playing. And I saw him deep striking a monolith turn 2. And I was like,
Oh no!
bro,
Was it the man?
bro.
The man himself?
No, that was other dude. So like, we're fucking down deep. We're down bad.
We
Really down bad.
we assigned factions for the Canada scrim, but I didn't assign people lists. I was like, I'll give you your faction. You figure out what you want to play list wise. So our guard player paired into Iron Hands, and I jump into the game like middle of turn 2. The Rogel Dorn is not on the board. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems real. It's got to be the Fire Strike turret, right?
No, that thing's legit. It's actually the hammer. It's actually the strategic preserving hammer fall bunker.
Oh, wait. Stop.
No, there's a better unit.
Seth
We
says
know.
Flash gets, and that's
No,
true.
there is
course
a
he does.
better unit
Um,
that Pumbaa told us, and we learned that it exists. I don't know about you guys. I didn't know that that unit exists in the game.
The turret?
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing's amazing. The crab boy.
Krabby Boy. I had no clue it even was in the game. Like,
I'm there for the Hammerfell bunker. Hammerfell bunker at strat reserve. I don't even know if that's legal. Genuinely, I don't know if you can
No, you
strat reserve a
cannot.
movement zero
you
movement.
cannot strat reserve fortifications
What's even the point of playing this game?
Why do you know that?
unless
why
there's
do
one
you
way.
know? Anthony asks the most correct question. Why do you know that, Titus?
because
You
because
can't get a
WTC
webway gate
crap.
out of another webway gate.
No. There's one that you can move, and that's Necron Obelisk.
Oh,
core.
okay.
It has core, and you can move it with Veil.
The convergence of dominion. Yeah,
And
All right, we're gonna
I've
sidestep
that thing
all
has
the
core, but Centurions don't. That thing has core, but pure Trade those don't.
favorite movie that you've seen in the last year.
I watched the original the original Knives Out like a month ago. It was great.
the original one was good. I think the sequel or the one happening on an island was too obvious. Like,
I enjoyed it, but I watched it like the day after I watched the first one, so I was still in the mood for it. But I thought the first one was great. If you're talking movies that came out this year, I really enjoyed Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched that on the plane. That was pretty good.
When did
I don't
you
watch
see
a lot of films.
Dune? Was that within the last year?
No, I went to see Dune.
Dune?
I went to see Dune for my birthday in 2021, so it must have been the last year. Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago.
Oh. Time's fake. Wee!
It is. It's true. I really liked that Bullet Train movie. That was really fun. I
it
watched
was
it on the
fun.
plane. It was great.
Only Lovers Left Alive, I think is the name of the movie. It's really good. Thanks, Michael Tempe.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is also an amazing movie, and people should watch it.
Fair enough.
And in my case, I would say it's not a movie. Like with the war raging on our borders, I realized that they never reached actually anything meaningful from Second World War onwards in my history classes. So last 3-4 months of my life, I'm basically watching like 1.5 hour documentary of historical shit happening in Europe every day to
Interesting.
There's a
educate
lot of it
myself.
in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and I feel like now I understand more. Whilst before I was convinced, like playing all Call of Duties or Medal of Honors, that you would have Russians fighting. One guy would get a gun, the other one would get ammo, and all that shit. That's not historically correct, and I just learned stuff like that. Yeah, I was surprised as
Are
well.
you telling me that the introduction to COD 4 isn't like what happened to Pripyat?
No, that's factually correct.
Now we know.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna ask one more question, and then we can wrap, I suppose, if we want to. Otherwise, we can shoot the shit because I don't want to dig through YouTube right now. It's if you could design your own tournament circuit / format, what would it have or include?
That's a big question.
WTC with better terrain, or I could live with ITC, but with a sensible scoring system, not the dog shit thing that's in place. I just hate scoring on the number of players because it actually means I think it's counterproductive in a sense. Like the more players you have, the more likely you are to actually not play anyone serious and get high score and get more points, which just doesn't make sense.
It's I would run the exact circuit I run now, but I would use the new Star Wars Legion random turn length rules.
The random ones?
I would use those. That's all. That's the only change I would make.
Where you can't tell people how much time is left in a round either, right?
So for anybody who's not aware, the new Star Wars Legion tournament pack print released, I think, this week. The rule for turn length at tournament or round length of tournaments is it's 150 minutes plus you roll 5d6, and on a 3+, you add a minute to the clock, but you do it secretly, and you're not, and the tournament organizer is not allowed to tell people how long's left in the round, and the round just ends when time is over. Which I don't get it. I don't understand what it's trying to solve for, but
somebody just thinks that mystery is good for some reason, which it's not.
No, they just want to make the life of players even more miserable. So
yeah. I was thinking that something using CRS, but also using some of the stuff that Cliff and Jeremy have briefly chatted about, which is doing a CRS-like score, an ELO score for events based on who is there and participating in them.
I would split
you can offset in multiple ways.
There just needs to be more like actual invitational events that people give a toss about in 40k. Like LVO realistically should just the top 32 play a 5-round tournament.
That would be ideal. Yeah.
It should just, or the top 64 play a 6-round tournament, whatever. But it doesn't really make sense. Like we are at the point where we now have like serious competitive amateur players or like almost pro players playing in the same pool as Jim, who plays at the club once a month and is going to LVO for his first big tournament. Like they probably should be playing each other round one. I get that it's part of the appeal is that anybody can play anybody, but I don't know, man.
How else will you get somebody like Nick Nanavati though losing randomly to some random person round one at an event?
I don't know, man. It's whether you decide whether the competitive integrity is more important than random YOLO upsets.
Yeah.
Now that I had a little bit more thought, I remember this being a huge hit in our community, and that is what was initially played in X-Wing as a competitive game. Like you had all those qualifiers in a similar way that it took place before in Magic. I think it's actually a good system. I think it kind of forces people to also travel to attend more events around the world. So it doesn't end up like ITC basically being UK and the US, which have the highest count of people on their events. And I think GW is trying to get there. I think Mike is actually trying to get there over time. So I'm really looking forward to whether it will work, because I think it will allow more people to show that it's not only limited to what we see by the limited scope of ITC scoring.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see the moves that GW makes in the tournament space. Them doing one of their opens as a team's event is a big deal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the format
how that ends up working out. Apparently not limited by factions. You could just have
that. No, that's how the Warhammer World ones were.
What?
So that the way the Warhammer World tournaments work is that there is no faction limitations at team events. If you want to bring 4 Iron Hands armies in 8th edition, you could.
My favorite
we don't know what format they're going to do for the GW Open ones. If it follows the same format and it's 5-player teams with nothing, then get ready to see some stuff. But yeah, that has been the traditional GW like Warhammer World team tournaments have not used any restrictions.
Typhus looks like he's having some trauma in his eyes, and then
seizure like and a stroke.
Traumatized.
Yeah. You legitimately, I'm pretty sure that I remember one of them being won by an Iron Hands double Storm Ravens and like Ironstone stuff list, and 2 of those and 2 double Imperial Fist ones, so that they could pair the vehicle lists into the other and vice versa.
All right, I lied. There's one more question just because I find it amusing to end on a Warhammer Fantasy Battles note is, are there any factions that you are most hyped for in the Warhammer Fantasy Battles reveals?
Dark Elves.
You both said elves.
Me, it's... Yeah. But Dark Elves both, or what kind of elves?
High Elves.
Wood elves?
High Elves. I want Phoenix Guard.
Fucking traitor.
I like Typhus's face again.
Yeah.
I do like that for all our fault, we're all elf players in fantasy battles, though.
That's right.
No,
yeah, the people that want to win play elves.
No,
Or
I would
Wizard
play
in some editions.
and I would love vampire counts.
Oh, that was the other thing I played.
It's a good choice.
Skaven
I
was my
just
other one.
love the idea.
High Elves and Skaven.
Yeah, your Vampire Lord 4-head tanks a cannonball. You just lose the game instantly. It's the best.
Yeah.
That was why you had to run the ethereal and immune to magic damage Archmage. That was so much more fun.
This
I
again
would
sounds
love-
like pre 7th edition trauma
Yeah.
from rules
Yeah, yeah.
that shouldn't exist.
Dude, Dwellers Below, bro.
No, it was a perfectly balanced spell.
Perfectly balanced.
Same of Dark Son of something. I cannot remember the names already, but it was fun.
I don't know. I would play some kind of elf. If they preview Wood Elves, I might do that. If they preview something fun for Empire, that might be interesting. Painting Empire is always kind of amusing.
Give me Dark Elves.
Dragons. Just want dragons. That's why fantasy's always a superior game. More dragons.
Fair.
Does have more
I
dragons.
would love any army like Tomb Kings or Vampire accounts for myself. So if I lose by bad luck, I can just go outside and play Choco Dice or drink beer and have a good reason to do that. Good
I
excuse.
trained all the boys this weekend on Choco Dice. 2 of them were pretty good at it.
I shared with Pumbaa. We are proud of you. You are doing your part
Yes.
for the nation.
Yeah. If we pair it when? ? We pair at WTC. It's on.
All right, boys. Shall we close out the show?
Yeah.
I'll start with apologies for the comment earlier. That will be edited out of the main show. Shouldn't have said that. My mistake. I'm frankly surprised to do 27 episodes because I don't have a great filter in real life, but shouldn't have happened. Thank you, everybody, for watching for the 27th episode. We deeply appreciate you all being here, and we will catch you next time. I won't. I've been cancelled. I'm off the show now. At least for next week.
Typhus, do the coaching plugs.
Yes, Typhus.
Let Ennis rest in peace over here in the corner for a minute.
So you guys, you want to play better GSC? Maybe Eric Laturas is not playing the game anymore. So there's a guy on the Northern Hemisphere that's kind of good as well. And his name is Ines Wilson. Or maybe I mentioned earlier 5 team events happening in a short period of time in Europe. And you want some help. Like some guys already approached me for ITT. I'm the guy. So you can ping us, email us, ask us. We are good. I hope. So
Strong.
This is just ringing with confidence. You can go to www.stat-check.com/coaching and you can see the coaching packages that our 2 amazing coaches have, including top 5 in the CRS, Ines Wilson, and Typhus, who's an amazing team captain.
Nailed it.
and probably like 13,000 ITC because I have one event at second place in ITC scoring, which is
That's better than most people. So see,
It's pretty good.
so
Well done.
you're doing better than most already. If
On
you
the
like
planet.
what we did, go to our Patreon, sign up for our Patreon. You can get more of us in the Discord, which is patreon.com/statcheck. Throw us a like or a comment to help with the algo on the YouTube page, please, or on whatever podcast network is carrying this. And since Anthony's not holding up the finger, I'm just going to let him turn off our stream now.
I didn't realize.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.